How's it guys, this is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about the double Game Week 26 team selection. A massive amount of excitement around this game week as it is the last remaining big double game week of the season, and I'm hoping that there can be some massive rank games this game week with all the chips that are going to be used. So in this video, we're going to be starting off with a review of my double Game Week 25 squad and seeing how it got along and whether we got a green arrow before turning our attention to our own transfer planner as well as our chip usage for double Game Week 26. Finally, hopefully, we're going to be confirming that team selection as well as who I'm going to be triple captaining / captaining. So that's something you're interested in. Sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So going over a quick review of double Game Week 25, a nice little green arrow propelled us to just above that 50k mark. So 45k is about the rank that we are currently sitting at. I'm just kind of hoping that the next couple game weeks are a repetition of the previous couple game weeks, and a few extra green arrows can hopefully get us to as high as possible in that overall ranking. Contributing to the green arrow was the fact that we got 89 points, and contributing to that 89 points was the defense, starting off with Johnston. And I'm pretty sure every single game week I shouldn't have faith in my goalkeeper, because that's exactly what happened this week. I thought that Johnston would get a measly 2 or 3 points, but no, he managed to get 7, and I don't really know how West Brom managed to keep the clean sheet after losing their most prolific defender in the first half to a red card. So I don't know what Burnley were doing. Maybe they just didn't have their shooting boots on for game week 25, but Johnston with a lovely extra bonus point right at the end. I think it was after the game finished that he managed to get up on those rankings and get that 1 extra bonus point. So 7 points from Johnston's always going to be welcomed, especially when my expectations were so low. But then going on to probably the hero of the game week was Dallas from Leeds. So 17 points, didn't do much in the first game, but in the second game he did everything. Massive points haul there with a clean sheet and a goal to boot. So 17 points, one of the highest scorers of this FPL season for my own single game week team. Obviously he did have the double game week, but it was a game week 25 review. And then going on to the Man City duo of Diaz and Cancelo. Now Cancelo managed to get a yellow card, but Diaz got an extra bonus point, so you can kind of think of it as 6.6 points. I'm just happy that that Man City defense managed to keep a clean sheet. They seem really comfortable in the defense at the moment, just kind of racking up those clean sheets. And in these upcoming double game weeks, I have high expectations. I'm basically just hoping that my Man City assets do start, as then they could be in for some nice point returns. Then going on to Lewin with another 6 points there for the Burnley defender. I was happy that that game managed to end 0-0. If you remember correctly in my team selection / deadline with Dayvy live stream, I said that I was hoping for a 0-0 as for my own FPL team. That was probably the best result. Then going on to the midfield, where some more excitement did happen with that Leeds fixture, Rafinha with a lovely 12 points, actually outscoring Bamford. So if you managed to go for Rafinha as a little bit more of a differential captain, congratulations, you deserve those points, because with that high ownership of Bamford, it definitely was a high risk, high reward strategy. Complementing that 12 points was also Fernandes there. Man United with a comfortable win against Newcastle. I always predicted that that game would be quite comfortable, so if you did go with the single game week captain, it actually also did pay off. Basically, if you went for anyone but Bamford, I know that he did manage to get 8 points, so we're not being too greedy there, but I was hoping for a little bit more from the lead striker in terms of the captaincy. Son, Salah, both returning 2 points there, so really bad luck with the premium assets. With Gundogan's 3 points, can't really be that mad about it. I mean, he's scored so many goals in the past couple game weeks that I'm really not going to be complaining about a blank in double game week 25. But overall, the squad looked pretty good there. Was happy with the double game week players that I managed to get. If you do remember, the transfer out was Souček to Rafinha, which paid off quite well, so I was really happy with that move. On the bench, we do have Watkins with 2 points, so I was really happy that the decision to bench him was the right one. Without Jack Grealish, Aston Villa didn't look that great, so I'm a little bit worried about Ollie Watkins and kind of hoping that Jack Grealish manages to come back sooner or later. I don't really think it's going to be a long-term injury as earlier expected, but I don't really know with the Aston Villa manager. He seems quite cagey about it, and the fact that he's now banned the whole Aston Villa squad from playing FPL just maybe means that it might actually be quite a long-term one, and he's a little bit angry about it. On the bench, you also have Calvert. Lewin was really comfortable benching him against Liverpool. I know there always was the chance of him scoring, but because he started on the bench, I think that was the correct decision. Managed to get a penalty a little bit later on that was a little bit controversial, but I don't really think it impacted the overall score of that game anyway. Then finally on the bench, you also have Soufal and Fabianski. Fabianski managing to get the extra save point, but I didn't have much faith in that West Ham game against Spurs. They actually managed to play quite well, but it wasn't the players that I owned, more of the Antonios and the attackers than the defense. So relatively comfortable with the bench and not too mad about the options that I did. Son and Salah were the obvious disappointments of the game week, and both of those teams seem to have hit a little bit of a dip in form, so I'm a little bit worried about those assets, especially with the current transfers for that double game week coming up. So firstly, before we talk about my transfer planner, I just wanted to give you guys a reminder of the schedule, and I wanted to give you guys some backing and some background to maybe the decisions that I am considering. So we have Ben Krellen's transfer planner up on the screen here. Go follow Ben Krellen. Always give him a shout out when you use his planner. But the thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about was double game week 28, which is a potential double game week. So nothing's been confirmed yet. The only fixtures that have been confirmed are the ones in yellow. So those light orange / dark yellow fixtures of Newcastle vs Everton for Aston Villa, and then also Everton's double game week of Burnley vs Aston Villa. As I said, these games have not been confirmed yet. I really wish that they were confirmed right now, as that would make the transfers a lot easier. But the reason I'm focusing on those Everton assets, and I might be bringing another Everton option in, is because if they do get that double in double game week 28 of Burnley Aston Villa, that's going to be quite a tasty double. And I mean, in the next 3 game weeks, they're going to have 2 doubles, and with those double game week 26 fixtures looking so tasty, it definitely is raising my attention to those Everton assets. Also with the Aston Villa assets, but with Jack Grealish out, I'm going to wait for that press conference tomorrow, where hopefully we get some news about him. But if he is raring to go for that double game week 26, I'm going to be quite tempted to bring Jack Grealish in, because he also has the potential of the double game week 28. But that's the thing, is that these fixtures haven't been confirmed yet. But is it worth taking a little bit of a punt and hoping that they do get confirmed relatively soon, or is it worth just maybe sticking to my own options, and then maybe that double game week 28 doesn't even happen? The thing I also wanted to highlight was the double game week 27. So we're all focusing on double game week 26, but double game week 27 also has some tasty fixtures for Man City. It's just Man City and Southampton that do have the double, so we're definitely going to be focusing on those Man City options. But I'm also going to be talking about a Southampton keeper that does have a potential to maybe play in that double that I am looking at, because he is quite cheap. But De Bruyne is the obvious option when we look at Man City that I am looking to maybe bring in, and that's one of the transfer decisions that I have to kind of make. Do I want Salah for these next couple of game weeks, or do I want to bring Kevin De Bruyne in with the hope of maybe captaining him in double game week 27? But with De Bruyne, he was benched in the Champions League, which kind of is a good and a bad thing, because if he played last night, it would have given me a little bit more faith. Maybe if he played 60 minutes, it showed that he was ready to start. But because he was benched, I don't really know if Pep maybe is building up his fitness levels, and maybe he isn't up to full fitness or a full recovery from that injury just yet. But that's kind of the reason I just wanted to show you guys this game week schedule, was because of those Everton, Aston Villa and Man City assets. Also the Southampton goalkeeper, but he's quite low on the watch list. So now going to the transfer planner, and I've selected 2 potential transfer groups that I have been considering. I've been considering more options such as Salah to De Bruyne and so on, but these have been the most consistent options that I have been looking at, and probably the most true transfers that I will do. So the first option is going to be Lewin and Fabianski out for Lucas Digne and then Forster. So Forster's the Southampton goalkeeper that I was talking about. So there has been a little bit of a rumor that Forster might play instead of McCarthy. This just comes from the poor defensive form and overall form of Southampton, and that might cause a little bit of a shake-up in that goalkeeper position. But this is one of those that just because I'm considering Forster, I buy into the rumor a little bit more. So this rumor could have nothing to it, and I don't really think it has too much weight, but it does offer a little bit of hope that the cheap Southampton goalkeeper could come in handy for that double game week 27. And that's just the thing about it. It is a punt, a massive punt going on Forster, because McCarthy could just continue to play, which probably will be the case. But just because I need a cheap replacement for Fabianski to get that money to upgrade Matt Lowton to Lucas Digne, makes me consider the Southampton goalkeeper, and maybe string along a little bit of hope that he does manage to start. The other transfer that I could do is, instead of Matt Lowton, I could go for Dallas or Soufal. But because I'm taking Fabianski already, I don't really want to lose another blank game week 29 player, because I'm already losing the West Ham goalkeeper. If I did manage to do that move, I could maybe afford an Areola instead of a Forster, which is going to be a lot better in the long term. But I just kind of think that losing some money in that bench value could also be quite profitable. So this is the more conservative option, and the reason it's more conservative is that I'm not losing Mo Salah and I'm not bringing in Harry Kane, which is exactly what the second transfer group revolves around. So the second transfer option would be Mo Salah out, it would be Lowton out, and it would be Bamford out. And coming in would be Harvey Barnes, Lucas Digne, and Harry Kane. So the 2 big decisions in this transfer group is firstly, obviously, taking Mo Salah out, a really high owned player, and bringing in Harry Kane, a player that's ownership has dropped dramatically since that injury. But the thing with that Harry Kane transfer is that if I do bring him in, I would definitely look at triple captaining / captaining him. Then also the other debate is with Patrick Bamford. If I take him out, I'm going to be losing a lot of money in the lead striker, but the fact of the matter is I'm probably going to bring him back for that blank game week 29, and I don't think there's going to be a shortage of funds. Remember, Liverpool don't play, Man City don't play, so I'm going to be losing those players and simply wildcarding them back in for that wildcard in game week 31, so I don't think the budget is going to be that much affected. And if you look at the Leeds fixtures, in game week 31 and onwards, the fixtures do take a little bit of a turn, and we can always just bring them back a little bit later on in the season. So as I mentioned, mentioned, this transfer group is a lot more risky, and that just revolves around taking up Mo Salah, who could be even a captaincy option for some people, but it's just been a kind of thing of watching Liverpool in the past couple of game weeks. Mo Salah, although he's got a couple of shots, the big chances haven't really been flowing that much, and I've kind of lost a little bit of faith in the Egyptian winger. And with Harry Kane, I am always a fixture FPL manager, and that triple captain on him with those lovely Burnley and Fulham fixtures looks quite tasty. So these are the two transfer groups that I have been considering. I'm going to be waiting tomorrow for this press conferences. Maybe we get a little bit more news on a potential injury, and then we might change our transfer plan completely. But the conservative option is definitely the top one, but the more exciting punt is definitely the bottom one. So Matt Lowton to Lucas Digne is definitely a transfer that I've been heavily considering, and that's just because of that double game week 26. I would like to get Lucas Digne in for this game week if he manages to double in the further game week 28. And from a defensive point of view, Everton haven't been great, but from an attacking point of view, I think that Lucas Digne could put in a good shift in this double, and the double coming up a little bit later on in the season. Allen has also come back from injury, so that could be a nice little addition from a defensive point of view, and I'm just hoping that Everton can manage to keep a clean sheet if I do bring Lucas Digne into my starting lineup. But now let's touch on the triple captainship. So yes, the triple captainship probably is going to be used in game week 26. This is the last remaining double that I feel really confident in. That's because double game week 27, I just always think with those Man City options, they're a little bit too risky to triple captain. Yes, the ceiling is probably the highest out of any other side, but just that rotation risk and those minutes managed in those double game weeks usually comes back to bite you as a triple captainer. So that's why I won't be looking at a Man City option. Then the other double game weeks coming on, we've mentioned that Everton and Aston Villa one. Maybe you won't be looking at triple captaining because the fixtures look a little bit tougher for Everton and Aston Villa, and then also the Spurs double game week coming up a little bit later on. We just don't know what those fixtures are going to be like. We don't really know the form that Spurs are going to be in, and we also don't know the injury plan for that upcoming game week. So in those upcoming doubles, a little bit unconfirmed, whereas right now the game week in front of us is confirmed, and that's why I'm probably going to be using it in this game week because those fixtures are looking quite nice. So the two triple captain options that I'm heavily considering, a spoiler alert, if you didn't watch the double game week 26 preview, you know they are, but it's going to be Harry Kane and Calvert Lewin. I just think that these two options are the best options in terms of the fixtures. And as I mentioned, I'm always a FPL fixture manager, so I always favor the fixtures over the form. 100% this game week, Bruno Fernandes will be the most captain / triple captain option, so he definitely is the safe one. And to go without Bruno Fernandes as your captain is definitely going to be quite risky. But that's the thing about this game week that I think it's quite nice to triple captain is that I think the captaincy is going to be quite split. Yes, Bruno Fernandes will be the most captain option, but you're going to have your Harry Kanes, you're going to have your Heung-min Sons, you're going to have your Mo Salahs, and you're also going to have your Calvert Lewin. So from a differential aspect, it offers a nice little opportunity to take a differential triple captain, and that allows you to maximize the chip. It's not like double game week 25 when everyone went for Bamford, and then if you triple captain him, the points gains on that wasn't that great. But the thing with the differential aspect of the triple captain is that you're basically banking on your captain outperforming the most popular option, and this game week I really do think that Harry Kane and Calvert Lewin can outperform Bruno Fernandes just because of those nice fixtures that they do have. So that's the thing about the triple captain and why I'm probably going to be using it in a double game week 26. There's some good fixtures, and from a differential aspect, I think that you can get a nice maximization out of the chip. So now going on to the team selection for double game week 26, I've not made any transfers. As I mentioned previously, I'm going to be waiting for those press conferences coming up tomorrow, and then hopefully in the deadline with Dayvy live stream, we might even be making some live transfers, and hopefully we use the triple captain as well. So starting off in goal, we've got Johnston. I'm not really comfortable playing Johnston here. No, I'm not saying that because last game week I didn't have faith in him, but if you look at those fixtures, yes, they are home fixtures, but they are against Brighton and Everton, and I'm expecting both of those teams to score, so maybe Johnson can pull off a miracle penalty save, or maybe he can get some nice save points there, but I'm simply going to be playing him because I'm not going to go for Fabianski, who has Man City, and he's definitely going to be the first on my bench. The rest of the lineup is pretty good. We've got some nice double game week players. We got Diaz and Cancelo. Now, I'm not expecting both of these players to play both games. I'm just hoping for maybe a clean sheet from either of them, as Cancelo will definitely be rotated in double game week 26 after starting the last 4 game weeks in a row. With Diaz, he might be more of an assured starter, but he can always get rotated as we saw in the previous couple game weeks, so I'm just hoping that we can get some points out of these two, and 1 game week might even be enough. So Lowton's on the field here, but I really don't have faith in Lowton, and that's the reason why I wanted to take him to Lucas Digne. So Spurs away and then Leicester at home. I think both of these sides will score against Burnley, and that's why I'm really comfortable even taking a -4 hit to get Lowton out of my starting lineup. The midfield is quite exciting. We've got some good fixtures here. As Son, obviously, we've spoken about Kane having those lovely fixtures against Burnley and Fulham, and I think this kind of replicates for Son. I do think that Kane fits these fixtures a little bit more. I don't really think there's going to be too much counter-attacking in these fixtures, which lessens the appeal for Son and definitely makes me think that Harry Kane will outscore him, but nevertheless, he's in my side. I'm not going to be taking him out before those fixtures. Then Gundogan, also hoping that he starts with Kevin De Bruyne back. We might see some rotation for the German midfielder, but I'm just hoping that he can get some returns out of this game, considering the form that he's been on. And then Mo Salah and Fernandes. So currently Fernandes is my vice captain. I mentioned that he's definitely going to be the most captain option in double game week 26. If you want to go for a safe captain / triple captain, definitely go for him, as he is the safety option in that ownership. Mo Salah is a nice little alternative if you want to go for more of a differential captain, but that Sheffield United and that Chelsea game just doesn't fill me with much hope that the Liverpool winger is going to be getting many points, and that's the reason why I could potentially take him out, but currently he is in my lineup. The forward line, we got Bamford against Aston Villa. Bamford, Rafinha is quite a tough debate to choose. I don't really know who I'll be opting for in that one. I just kind of think that Bamford's on penalties, so maybe from an attacking point of view might have more chance, but Rafinha has definitely been the more consistent option, so I'm pretty sure that he's going to get some points on my bench. We have Ollie Watkins with Leeds and Sheffield United. Definitely lovely fixtures from an Aston Villa point of view, so that's why I won't be taking him out. I'll simply just be keeping him in here because I'm not going to be taking him out before lovely double game week 26. And then finally is Calvert Lewin with probably the fixtures of the game week. He has Southampton at home and then goes to West Brom away, and I mean those fixtures are basically a guarantee of points in my opinion, and that's why he's currently my captain. I just can see him getting a return in both of those games, whereas with Bruno Fernandes, I think that Chelsea game is going to be quite close because the top 6 clashes this season have been really close games, so I can really see a 0-0 happening in that one. The Liverpool assets, Sheffield United and then also Chelsea, I think that second game is going to be quite close, whereas with Calvert Lewin, I can see him scoring against Southampton and I can also see him scoring against West Brom, and that's basically all I need from him is a return in each of those game weeks, and then I think he can comfortably outscore any of the other triple captaincy options. The only option that I would also be tempted by is going to be Harry Kane, and you know what, those fixtures are just looking good and they're definitely Harry Kane type fixtures, but currently Calvert Lewin is my captain because Harry Kane isn't in the lineup. So I probably will be using my triple captain this week, so that will mean that I'll triple captain Calvert Lewin, and let me know in the comments down below if you're using your triple captain, and if you are, who you're going to be using it on. So this is basically wrap the video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Please don't forget to like it if you did, and subscribe if you're new, have not subscribed yet. Hopefully I'll be checking you guys for a Deadline with Dayvy live stream about 30 minutes to an hour before the deadline on Saturday afternoon, evening or night, wherever you are in the world, or you can always check me on my Twitter at Dayvy FPL. I'm going to be signing off. It's been Dayvy FPL and I'm out. Cheers, bye.